What is up, guys? We are back. And this time we're playing Kansei the Second Turn, which is the sequel to the first Jinsei. Which I have never played this game, so this is completely blind. This thing is impossible.
A tangram isn't that hard. You're just not thinking about it right.
Oh yeah? So how exactly am I supposed to think about it?
You need to be more flexible. You should be open to the idea that what looks like one thing might just be a small part of something completely different.
Why does that girl look like a Naoki? Or Naoki's the guy. Aki? Is that the sister? That's what she looks like.
The outside shape doesn't always give you a good idea of what's inside.
You mean like how many tiny little sisters and such a huge genius?
Just like that.
Who on earth invented this thing anyways? It's such a weird puzzle.
Well, I think that according to legend, the tangram happened when someone dropped a square tile and it broke into 7 pieces. When he tried to put them back together, he discovered that he could shape it into many different things.
So basically we're having fun at the expense of some poor guy who broke the tiles.
Well, if it weren't for that, wouldn't the tile just be a boring tile like all the other tiles? But because of what happened, it's now a famous puzzle that's been seen across the world. Sometimes, in order to find a greater purpose, you have to be broken first.
Broken, huh? I think I'm happier just being a boring old tile that no one will ever
I
notice.
don't think we get the luxury of choosing what happens to us.
You don't think we get to decide our future?
I never said that. We don't get to decide what happens to us, but we can always decide how to respond to it.
You know, you should think about a lot of deep stuff for a 14-year-old. I thought girls your age were supposed to be into cute guys or nail
That's a
polish.
stereotype, and you know it.
What? I'm not allowed to tease you? Besides, I'm sure you'll start thinking about a boy one day, and when that day comes, you better make sure he gets my approval first. I don't want to lose my sister to some punk kid who's no good.
Stop choking. I told you, I'm not interested in that sort of thing. Don't worry, you're not going to lose me anytime soon.
Where am I? Open my eyes slowly and take in my surroundings. Coffee table, books, computer. Looks like a pretty average apartment. Something feels off though.
Good morning.
Oh right. It's not an apartment, it's a prison. All thanks to me sticking my nose into a murder yesterday.
I hope you slept well.
Yesterday? So this directly after? Why do you care? Aki sits beside me on the couch.
You're our guest after all.
Except for the part where I don't want to be here.
Well, there's not much I can do about that. You have to admit it's a lot nicer than police custody, though.
I don't see why Detective Gursky thought it was necessary to detain me anyways. I already saw the murder yesterday. The murderer even confessed.
Confessions can be recanted. It's best to have the most solid case possible in situations like this.
What about Naoki? He was there. Why not use him?
I'm sure they'll use my brother too, but the fact remains that you're the one who solved the case. That makes you the strongest witness they have.
I roll my eyes. Whatever. There's plenty of painfully obvious evidence at the scene already. You hardly need me.
You'd be surprised what expensive lawyers are capable of doing. We need the most airtight case possible. Miko might seem like a relaxed guy, but he's thorough.
Miko? You mean Detective Gursky?
Yeah, Miko Gursky.
You seem awfully familiar with him.
You think so?
Her expression breaks into a wide grin. I could only assume there's a story here that she's not willing to tell.
Anyway, you should thank me for convincing him to let you stay with us. With us, you get a nice bed, good food, and...
Aki, I got the coffee.
Why y'all wear the same clothes? Naoki opens the door to the apartment, triumphantly holding up a cup of coffee.
Coffee.
Naoki stumbles as he enters, grasping at the air in an attempt to catch himself. A young girl with pale skin and white hair appears from the hallway and reaches out, calmly lifting the the coffee cup from his outstretched hand as he falls forward. She steps to the side as Naoki goes crashing to the ground. The girl gazes placidly at Naoki laying on the floor.
Be careful.
Oh.
Ooh, nice save.
The young girl nods and hands the cup of coffee to me before disappearing back into the hallway. Who was that?
That's Lee May.
Uh-huh. I saw her yesterday, but she just kinda nodded at me and walked off. Naoki stands and rubs his head ruefully.
That's Lee May for you.
She's a quiet child. Quiet child. Quiet? Anyway, there's too much going on in her head, so it's a little hard on her to maintain conversations.
What, she's like a genius kid or something? Naoki and Aki exchange glances. What did I say?
Not exactly. It's a little more complicated than that.
Why don't we talk about it on the way there?
There. Where are we going?
To speak with our client, of course.
It doesn't take long for us to leave Edgewater. I gaze sleepily out the car window and struggle to sit up straight in my seat. It's still early morning and the city is only faintly outlined against the pale sky. I take a few sips of my coffee before dozing off completely. What? The cityscape outside the car has transformed into the country scene. I vaguely remember passing the big city, but I'm pretty sure I fell asleep after that. Typical. I gaze at the rolling countryside as it passes by. All I see are clusters of trees, while telephone poles dotting the side of the road. Aki driving is surprisingly sedated. Considering her personality, I expected a lot more road rage. She seems content to chug along slightly below the speed limit, even though the road is perfectly straight and no other cars are in sight. I feel like we're creeping along at an incredibly slow pace. I guess this is why we had to leave early. At least I get to sit in the front. Glancing in the back seat, I see Naoki dozing, his head resting on his chest. Lee May is awake, but she stares blankly out the window.
Glad you're awake. Did you enjoy your sleep?
No, not particularly. The seat feels lumpy and now my neck hurts. Aki laughs and shakes her head.
At least you're honest. Should we have gotten you something stronger than a triple shot?
No, it's not your fault. It'll kick in soon enough. I look out the window again, trying to focus on the scenery. It looks like we're far away from the city by now. Any reason we had to leave so early?
We have a long way to go to meet with our client, and he's the sort of guy who will get very fussy if we're late.
Where are we going anyways? What are we supposed to do? Who's the client you're talking about? Wait, you said you were going to tell me about Lee May, didn't you?
You're overflowing with questions. I suppose I can't blame you. You're not the only one with questions, though. In fact, you're a pretty big question mark yourself. Let's make a deal, shall we? You ask a question, then I ask a question. We'll trade answers.
I guess that works. Who are you people anyway? You work for a high-profile corporation like Autumn Engineering. The police seems to trust you almost unconditionally. But you just look like a bunch of kids. I get burst out laughing.
You're a kid too, aren't you?
Yeah, well...
We're a special investigation agency. Our work isn't always as exciting as corporate espionage and murder. More often than not, we're just snapping photos of cheating lovers. As for why the police trust us, that's sort of a weird story. That's for another question, though.
You got Sherlock Holmes here?
Okay, my turn. What's your name?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that.
You do realize how suspicious it makes you look when you hide it, right?
It's complicated.
Things are only as complicated as you want them to be, but I respect your privacy.
The girl who can insert thoughts into my head whenever she wants respects my privacy? Ironic.
We're going to have to call you something, though. Is Kansei okay?
Kansei.
Roughly translated, it means strong emotions. It's sort of a play on Kansei.
Is that supposed to mean something to
We
me?
call the ability to feel other people's emotions Kansei. It's like a super sensitivity. Since you have a type of Kansei, we can call you Kangai. Kan Guy. Get it?
Yes, but it's stupid.
I never claimed to be good at picking names.
Try to think of something else, please.
I'll see what I can do.
I lean back in my seat and adjust myself, attempting to get comfortable. Is there any reason your car is so tiny?
Is that your next question?
No, I'm just saying that there's not much space here.
Lee May never complained about it.
Yeah, well, Lime is tiny. Oh yeah, what's the deal with her anyways?
Now that's definitely a new question.
Right. Where are we going?
A small estate out in the countryside. It belongs to one Mr. William Otten.
Auten, as in Auten Engineering?
Got it in one.
So he's the guy who hired you to track Sarah Blackmore because she was stealing information from him?
Yep. Well, until she was murdered, that is.
Yeah, there is that.
We reported to him yesterday about what happened.
You mean about how Miss Bergstrom hired Sarah to steal from her?
That and the fact that Miss Bergstrom claimed a third party was also interested in the information. He didn't sound too happy about that, so he ordered us to come see him today and give a full report in person.
Wow, that's a little demanding.
I can't blame him. His entire company's at stake here. I hope you don't mind coming with us. Since you were there yesterday, it seems only natural to bring you along.
Yeah, I get it. I'm sure the real reason she's taking me along is because she promised Detective Gursky that she'd keep an eye on me. But I guess I don't mind talking to this Auden guy. It's not like I had any plans for today anyways, and it might be interesting to see at the house of a millionaire. Why does Mr. Auden live so far out of the way anyway? Considering that his company is in the middle of Edgewater, wouldn't it make more sense not to live like a gazillion miles from this place?
Who knows? Word is that he really hates the city. His assistant said that he rarely leaves his house, conducting most meetings via satellite.
Weird. His entire company is built on cutting edge technology, but he doesn't want to live around a couple stoplights. Aki shrugs.
Rich people are eccentric. Comes with a job description, I think.
Sounds more like paranoia to me.
Maybe it is. Alright, next question. Where are you from anyway?
Los Angeles?
I'd rather you don't lie about it.
What?
Miko told me about it. Yesterday you told him that you were from LA, but when he asked you about precincts, you didn't correct him. In Los Angeles, police work districts, not precincts. I'm surprised he didn't cuff you on the spot for lying to him. Actually, no, I'm not.
I turned my gaze back to the scenery outside, unsure of how to answer. Detective Gursky knew I was lying yesterday. Why did he let me get away with it? Did he recognize me? I don't remember him though. I've been living in Los Angeles for the past 3 years. Isn't that good enough?
And before that?
Only one question at a time, remember? Aki raises an eyebrow.
Of course. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I said where are you from, not where were you living the last 3 years ago. I would have you better answer my question. I'll kick you out of the car. So what's the deal with Lee May anyway? Earlier you said there was a lot going on in her head.
All of us have a sort of Kansei like you do. We can all sense thoughts and feelings to some extent.
Thoughts and feelings. What about Naoki? All he has is photographic memory. And
Lee May's Kansei is probably the purest form of them all. She experiences the emotions of everyone around her.
everyone?
Everyone. If you're happy, she's happy. If you're sad, she's sad. Everyone else's emotions are constantly streaming into her mind.
Was it like empath?
She has to spend a lot of her energy sorting out which feelings are hers and which aren't.
I turn to look at Lee May. Her eyes are open. Her body is unmoving as she stares straight out the car window. So how long? What's his radius? Her mind must be a mess. I wonder if she can feel my pity for her. Can she even tell that it's me, or is it all mixed up inside of her? Oh man, should I even be feeling this way? If she can sense it, it's probably really demeaning to her that I'm feeling bad for her. I don't want her to think that I think of her as a poor little kid or something. I desperately try to conjure up another emotion to squelch my current mood, but my mind is completely blank. For a brief moment, Lee May glances at me from the corner of her eye. She nods slowly, almost imperceptibly, but I think she's trying to tell me she's okay.
My turn now.
Aki grins.
Where did you live before Los Angeles?
Somehow, I knew you were going to ask that.
Oh, am I really that predictable? Not going to answer?
Edgewater.
What?
I used to live here in Edgewater.
Here.
Aki sounds surprised.
3 years. I suppose that makes sense. We've only been here for 2 years.
She glances at me out of the corner of her eye. I'm sure she wants to ask more, but for once, she doesn't press the issue.
Well, I guess that was my question. Your turn.
What did you have to do to get the police to trust you?
We stopped the assassination of a visiting dignitary.
You what?
Everyone makes a big deal about it, but it was sort of a fluke. Naoki was trailing a businessman and secretary who were putting in extra hours at an expensive hotel.
And?
He saw the assassin, thought it was suspicious, and called me in. We intercepted the assassin, saved the day, and apparently that makes us trustworthy heroes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
You forgive me if I find that hard to believe. A story like that is ridiculous.
So, you're the boy with a Kansei that allows you to experience the final moments of any dead body you touch. You should be used to the ridiculous by now.
I guess she has a point there. It still doesn't sound like a real story though.
You missed it.
I jump a little as Lee May speaks up from the back seat. She's been silent for so long I almost forgot she was there. Lee May is pointing at a small round road that we just passed.
Oops!
Aki gives the steering wheel a tight spin and the car tires screech as the car spins in the road.
What? Ow!
Aki jerks away as his head bumps against the window he was using as a headrest.
Sorry, missed a turn.
He rubs his head slowly.
Yeah, I noticed. I guess we're almost there.
Yep, just a few minutes now. Anyway, what were we talking about? Right, Mr. Otten. He's one of those self-made men you hear about all the time, built Otten Engineering himself from the ground up. But he's also ridiculously secretive. No interviews, hardly any TV appearances. His assistant, Sophia Millerson, does most of that.
The car slows to a stop as we approach Mr. Otten's house. I squint out the window to get a better look at it. It looks like a very expensive, very pretty box. Kinda small for a rich guy, though. This is it.
This is it.
It's a big window right there. But it looks like someone just glued some fancy door and window onto a huge box.
Yeah, it kinda does. I guess since he always stays inside, he doesn't care what it looks like on the outside.
Aki kicks open the car door and leaps out. The front door of the house swings open silently and a strict-looking woman approaches us.
Are you the representatives from the agency?
Yep, I'm Aki Mizutani. You must be Sophia Millerson. We spoke on the phone.
Aki thrusts her hand out, but the woman merely raises a skeptical eyebrow.
You're not exactly what I pictured.
Looking at Aki's wrinkled shirt and dusty pants, I can see why she might be a little thrown off.
Being a private investigator involves having an appearance that doesn't stand out, ma'am.
Truly.
The woman places her hand on her hips and sighs reluctantly.
Well, come in. Mr. Otten seems unusually eager to speak with you.
Aki kicks the car door shut and motions for us to follow her. I climb out and stumble for a moment as my knee buckles under my weight. Ugh, my legs are cramped for sitting in that car for so long. Sophia watches me impassively. She doesn't look impressed. Naoki comes stumbling out of the car after me, and we both do our best not to look like a pair of goldfish who've been dumped unceremoniously out of their bowl.
Are these your associates?
If she was unimpressed before, she's plain worried now. I can't say I blame her.
They are.
Aki steps to the side and Naoki and Lee Mei approach
This
Sophia.
is Lee Mei, and this is my brother Naoki.
Lee Mei glides up to Sophia like a swan and offers her a polite
And
bow.
he is?
Sophia points at me. Aki stares at me and a hint of panic shows in her eyes. I've already made it clear that I didn't. I already made it clear that I don't intend to give my name away, but I guess that puts her in a somewhat difficult situation.
That would be Kansei.
What? Kind of guy. She's really going to stick with that weird name?
Kansei? Unusual.
I turn to Aki and make a face, but Sophia either doesn't notice or care. Aki shrugs apathetically.
Sorry, it's the best I could do on short notice. You should have given me something to work with.
I'm suddenly regretting not telling her my name was Fred or something. I guess it's better than nothing. What the hell was that noise? As we follow Sophia into the house, I see a brief flash of red light. What's that light?
It's a retina detector.
Sophia indicates a small camera set in a doorframe that we pass
The
through.
house takes a shot of the eyes of anyone who passes through. It's useful for identification purposes.
Music's a little too loud.
There are other sensors around the house that also capture your retina image. The house can remember your preferences and adjust things like lighting and temperature as soon as you enter the room.
Whoa, that's more than a little bit scary. By that Mr. Auden lived out here because he didn't like technology.
Mr. Alton lives here because he enjoys the peace and quiet being away from the city affords him.
Gotta go to settings? No? Okay, whatever.
This house, however, has the most cutting-edge security possible, including quite a few innovations not yet available on the market.
Fun. I'm sure the house is already looking up my dance directors.
Now, please don't dawdle. Mr. Alton's other guest is already here waiting for you.
Other guests?
As we enter the house, I see the outline of a man standing at the far end of the room, inspecting a scroll on the wall.
Oh no.
Oh, great. I should have known you'd be here.
Gursky.
Nico, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Aki doesn't bother to disguise the sarcasm in her voice.
Detective Gursky played a major role in the apprehension of the murderer yesterday. It's only natural that he'd be invited back here by Mr. Alton.
I don't remember him having stubs, though.
Yeah, I was actually there, unlike some people.
Detective Gursky looks pointedly at Aki, but she just glances coolly back at him. Sophie ignores the chill in the air between them and nods at us
Please
curtly.
make yourselves comfortable. Mr. Alton is finishing up on a conference call. He'll see you once it's finished.
Ooh, can we explore the house?
If you wish, the house currently logs you all as guests, so any doors you are authorized to pass through will open automatically.
Aki takes her brother's hand and gives it a quick tug.
Let's go!
Okay.
Naki trails after her, looking unsure. At the far end of the room, Detective Gursky rolls his eyes. Sophia turns and heads up the narrow staircase, presumably to do something important. The room is silent now. I follow, trying hard not to make a sound. Detective Gursky turns to inspect the fountain in the middle of the room with feigned interest. Unfortunately, he looks more annoyed than interested. Lee Mei stands silently in the center of the room, staring off at nothing in particular. There's something about her that bothers me, but I can't figure out what it is. Her still body and distant gaze reminds me of the corpses I've seen, but even a dead body doesn't give off the uneasy feeling she does. Aki said that she feels the emotion of everyone, but it looks to me as if she doesn't feel any emotion at all. Before I can think of it more, the front door slides open to reveal a young woman with young, unkempt hair standing on the other side.
Oh! I'm so sorry I'm late. I got lost on the way here.
Do you know how easy it is to miss that turn to get here?
What? Dorman looks at me expectantly. I wonder if Sophia knows there's a visitor. Should I go upstairs and tell her?
You must be Liam Otten. I've heard so much about you.
Liam? I thought Aki said that. Liam, I thought Aki said that Mr. Autumn guy's name was William. She smiles and holds out her hand. I give a quick shake before stepping aside to let her in. Yeah, I'm not.
It's okay. I'm not here to talk about all those rumors. Rich people always get the worst of it, don't they?
She walks around the perimeter of the room, examining everything quickly with her eyes. Why you have yellow eyeshadow?
And even if they are true, you're free to do what you want with your life. No one should judge you for your choices, right?
I don't think...
Oh, right. Marissa Klein from Modern Trends. I'm here for the interview. Did your uncle not tell you about it?
She flits around the room again, stopping to inspect the bamboo that stands like a guard by the hallway.
Pretty! Is it real?
I honestly have no idea. She looks up and notices Detective Gursky for the first time.
Oh, hello.
She rushes up to him and holds out her hand.
Marissa Klein.
Yes, I heard.
Marissa nibbles at the edge of her fingernail coyly.
Oh, good. So we can skip the formalities and just chat?
Is she flirting with him? I'm not sure I want to watch this.
I'm afraid I'm only here for business, ma'am.
She gives him a gentle push.
Oh, don't call me that. It makes me feel so old. Or are you supposed to be all formal with me because you work here?
I don't work here.
Marissa's eyes grow wide.
A guest? Even more interesting.
She points to the fountain that Gursky is looking at.
Are you an art fan?
She reaches out to touch the dragon coiled around the glass spear.
Please refrain from touching the art.
Marissa freezes as Sophia approaches at the bottom of the staircase.
Miss Klein, I presume?
Yep. Sorry,
You're 2 hours late. Mr. Otten has other business to attend to now.
Hang on! I called and said I'd be late, though.
I don't recall receiving such a call.
Marissa turns to me and grabs me by the shoulders.
Tell her?
Tell her what?
You're the one who answered the phone when I called. Why didn't you tell her?
I just got here. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why is it that everything is somehow my fault? Marissa blinks and releases her grip on me.
Wait, what's your name?
Kansei. I choke a little as I spat the name out. It sounds even dumber than when Aki says it.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Liam Otten.
Yeah, I gather as much.
Miss Klein, you may have called ahead, but the fact remains that you are very late, and Mr. Otten has a strict schedule.
Wait, this is my first major interview. Is there any way I can squeeze it in today?
Sophia sighs.
Come with me.
Oh, thank you.
Marissa skitters up to the staircases after Sophia. Detective Gursky is eyeing me with a quizzical look on my face.
Kansei?
Yeah, what of it?
Did Aki pick that name for you?
Is it that obvious?
She's notoriously bad at naming things. When she was a girl, she had a cat that was born with only a stub for a tail. She named the cat Stubtail.
How the hell do you know that? Great. I guess I should be grateful I didn't get saddled with a name like Kid Who Talks to Dead People.
I'm sorry you're stuck with those kids right now. If I had my way, I wouldn't group you in with them.
What are you talking about?
They all belong to the government. You know that, right?
Wait, what?
Miko, are you gossiping about me again?
Aki enters the room and slaps Detective Gursky on the back.
I'd rather you don't feed our friend Kansei here any misinformation.
Well, I haven't lied to him if that's what you mean.
Mr. Otten will see you now.
Sophia descends the staircase with Marissa Klein until Sophia looks even more annoyed than usual. Marissa's smiling, but it looks forced. Did you get your interview?
Of course. It'll be a winner, so be sure to look out for it.
She points her pen at me and jerks it back like a gun.
Bang!
Somehow I doubt her article will win very much.
Hey, Sophie, you don't mind if I have a look around, interview the staff, and other nonsense, right?
It seems to be taking all of Mrs. Millerson's strength not to strangle Marissa's.
Please make it quick.
Righto.
Marissa salutes and heads off down the hallway.
Shall we get going?
Sophia waits patiently for us to follow her. The five of us file up the stairs and follow her down a hallway to a glass door. Sophia knocks on it twice.
Mr. Otten, the investigators you requested are here.
A small burst of static pops from the speaker on the wall as Mr. Otten's voice emanates from the tiny box.
Good.
A camera descends from the hallway or from the ceiling and pans slowly across us before coming to a stop in front of me. The lens adjusts and focuses on me. Suddenly, another burst of static.
No, go away.
What?
Get out. Get him out.
Everyone turns around to stare at me.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Stop blaming me for everything bad that happens. Mr. Otten's voice crackles over the speaker again.
Get rid of him.
I'll take care of it right away, sir.
Sophia turns towards me.
Please follow me this way, Kansei.
But I didn't do anything.
Please follow me this way, Kansei.
Sophia repeats her request, but her voice sounds much more tense. Fine, I'm coming. I follow Sophia down the winding staircase.
I apologize for Mr. Otten's sudden outburst. He's prone to unnatural mood swings based on unidentified provocation.
She sounds more like she's giving a press release than an apology.
We can proceed with your discussion after he is less agitated.
You're not kicking me out?
Mr. Otten called for you. Once he settles down, he'll want to speak with you again. Until then, please make yourself at home while I go to work out the details of this visit with your associates.
She turns and heads back up the staircase without waiting for a response from me. I collapse on the stone bench with a sigh. I really can't catch a break, can I?
Are you okay?
Aki now follow me down the stairs. She looks concerned. Go back upstairs. No worries, I'm fine. After all, crazy old men yell at me all the time. She smiles and I think I hear a small giggle escape her lips. At least she's amused.
Sorry about that.
It's hardly your fault. No need to apologize.
Just sympathizing with you.
Right, that's part of your Kansei. Or are you just trying to be nice?
What do you think?
It's no good. Mr. Otten's refusing to come out.
Naoki and Lee May join us in the front hallway. Thought we were going inside the room.
Detective Gursky is still up there trying to talk to him, but he won't listen to reason.
Any idea what's going on up there?
No, I can't think of anything I've read that's like this.
I don't know what you did, but you've got Mr. Otten bunkered up in there pretty good.
I didn't do anything. You saw me?
Yeah, I saw. It doesn't make any sense, though. He seemed pretty insistent about talking with us today. Lee May, what do you think?
Aki turns to the young girl. Lee May closes her eyes. It's almost like she's ready to drift off to sleep.
He's scared.
Yeah, we figured that much out already. Anything else? What about when he first reacted?
She inhales and let out a tiny breath.
He was not surprised.
Not surprised. That's strange. Does that mean he expected to see me? But if that were the case, my thoughts are interrupted by a new voice.
Whoa, hey, I didn't know we were having guests today.
A young man, probably in his teens or early 20s, is staring at us from the hallway. His gaze passes over Lee May, Aki, and Aoki before resting on me.
Way to go.
He gives me a thumbs up. What?
I don't know how you managed to get 3 at once. That's a pretty sweet haul of chicks, man.
Who, them?
But I'm a guy.
Aki holds back a snicker.
Well, crap.
He shrugs and regains his composure quickly.
Ah, well, I've seen worse.
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's see. A bunch of people hanging out in the lobby for no reason? That's an easy one. Uncle called you out here, and now he's having a hissy fit and making you wait. Am I right?
Got it in one. And you must be Liam Otten.
This guy's Liam Otten. I guess I can see why Marissa mistook me for him. We look like we could pass for brothers. I feel a little insulted that she equated me with this guy, though. Everything about him screams slacker. He doesn't look like he has a hard day of work in his life.
I'm Liam, alright? But who are you? You definitely don't look like business partners. Uncle's not the kind of guy who lets just anyone enter. He's all crazy paranoid that way.
If he's as paranoid as you say, why are you here?
Aki ignores Liam's question and counters with her own. Liam shrugs.
I'm family. It's not like he's got a choice.
Despite his casual air, I detect a hint of smugness around him. He's probably enjoying feeling like he's above us. I've known this guy for about 10 seconds and he's already ticks me off. Naku looks like he agrees with me. But it's clear he's trying to hide his feelings. Aki, on the other hand, doesn't seem bothered at all.
Ah, so you're visiting your uncle today?
No, I live here.
He looks a little hurt that she'd assumed that otherwise.
Really? That's even cooler. Must be kind of boring for you, though.
Huh?
I was looking around earlier and nearly all the doors are locked.
His winning expression quickly transforms into one with pride.
That's because you're a visitor. You don't get many access privileges. I'm allowed in, like, every room in the house.
Like? So, not all of them.
Aki's eyebrows shoot up. She definitely looks interested.
Yeah, well...
Liam looks to the side and mumbles.
There's like a lock on his office in the security room. Those rooms are pointless anyway.
Oh, well, if that's all.
Aki shrugs casually, and Liam relaxes his shoulder. I glance at Naoki. He's staring at some invisible point on the ground, trying his best not to be in this conversation. Aki leans towards Liam and tilts her head at this to whisper in his ear.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Her voice is suddenly quiet, conspiratorially almost.
Yeah, I guess so.
Aki watches Liam's expression carefully as if changes from uncertainty to curiosity.
I suppose I could ask you for a favor.
What?
He's caught off guard by the request.
Well, seeing as your uncle seems to be hanging us both out to dry, maybe we could at least spend the time doing something interesting.
Like...
I don't know. Maybe you could show me around. We could poke around your uncle's precious privacy while he's busy being difficult.
Liam smirks.
I guess I've got nothing better to do with my time. Sure, why not?
He clears his arm around Aki's waist and guides her towards the hallway.
Aki?
Split up and explore what you can. Something about this doesn't settle well with me at all, and we might not get another chance.
I really wish she wouldn't do that. I'm so surprised every time she uses her brain voice or Kansei or whatever. Is she always like that?
Yeah, Aki has a way with people. She's persuasive.
No offense, but that was a rather thinly veiled bit of manipulation there. Why'd he fall for it?
She uses her Kansei to push someone's thoughts in the direction she wants.
So, mind control.
Nothing that powerful. Just subtle suggestions, like a whisper in the back of your mind.
I hope she doesn't intend to use that on me.
She can't.
Huh? What do you mean?
Because with Kansei, you're more sensitive. You'd know it's her voice.
I can barely hear you.
To us, it sounds like she's speaking directly, but normal people only feel like they've just had a random impulse.
Naoki gazes at the floor and kicks aside some imaginary dust with the side of his foot. What?
Nothing. We should probably get going.
So how the hell do you know I had powers She tried pushing some little thought in my head and found out she was talking.
I'd rather not split up if we don't have to. I don't do well exploring new places.
You're not even leaving the house. How bad could it be?
Well, I got stuck in an elevator once because I couldn't figure out how to get it to go to another floor.
It's true.
Lee May's nod her head in confirmation. I don't even want to think about how he managed to accomplish that. Then let's all go together.
Is it really okay?
Sure, why not? As long as we learn something, I'm sure Aki won't care.
Is that okay with you, Lee May?
It's fine.
The three of us walk down the hallway together. Naoki hangs up behind Lee May and I. He seems uncertain. I thought we were going all together, or are you not coming?
I'm coming.
Naoki hurries to catch up with us. There's nothing to be afraid of, man.
That's easy for you to say. I'm not like you.
We're just walking down the hallway. The expression changes in Lee May's eyes briefly, as if she just recalls something that she had a hope to forget. So you're nervous? No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
The hallway stretches out with doors on either side. Behind the glass door at the end, a staircase leading downwards to parts unknown. So where do you two want to start? Maybe we should start at the end of the hall and work back.
Anything but the stairs.
Let's take the stairs.
Naoki and Lee May speak at the same time before they both fall silent. Naoki looks nervous as usual. Lee May looks moody. For some reason, they seem to be expecting me to make a decision. Admittedly, the stairs aren't the most exciting thing about this place, but just because they're out of the way doesn't mean they're that scary. So?
Where should we go?
Didn't I just ask them that? Why am I the one who has the decision now? Fine, we go to the stairs. Let's take the staircase.
What?
Lee May doesn't smile, but her expression flickers just slightly. She looks pleased.
Why?
We're going to have to check it out anyway. Might as well get it over with.
I guess that makes sense.
The three of us ascend the stairs. Lee May leads the way, striding confidently down, while Naoki clings to the handrail with both hands. Dude, nothing's going to happen.
Are you sure?
Okay, what exactly do you expect to happen? You think a ghost is going to leap out at us?
No, but if there were a ghost, you'd see it, right?
No. What makes you think that?
Lee May said you could sense when someone nearby is dead.
Sorta. How the hell does she know that? It's more like being able to sense strong emotions though. Fear mostly, sometimes desperation. I pick up on the emotions of someone once they realize they're dying. It's really only the powerfully negative stuff though. It's not like I get the warm fuzziness from grandmothers who died in their sleep.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine having to live like that.
Well, I can imagine not living like that. It feels like the most of my life has been an
dead end.
What?
Lee May points to the door at the bottom of the staircase.
Oh.
I head down the stairs and inspect the door. It looks like the rest of the doors in the house. Every time I touch it, it beeps at me, but it doesn't budge. Looks like it's shut tight.
Sophia did say that we'd only have access to certain areas of the house.
I guess that doesn't include the basement.
Let's go back.
Naoki leads the way as we return to the hallway. That wasn't so terrible, was it?
Well, no.
By the way, you mentioned that Lee May told you about my ability.
She's the one who noticed you first. When you used your Kansei yesterday, she felt it.
The emotions of the deceased were amplified in you.
I see. Seems like nothing escapes this girl.
Well, should we keep exploring the house?
Yeah, let's get Ugh,
Whoa, are you okay?
I don't feel so good.
What's happening?
What's going on?
I feel my stomach churning. Lee May looks ill too. Please don't.
Scared. He's scared.
Who? Con guy?
I clutch at my stomach. Everything feels so light. It's Mr. Auden. I race down the hallway, still clutching at my stomach. Mr. Auden. I stumble up the staircase, barely stopping for breath as I head towards Mr. Auden's office. Naoki chases after me, stopping short at the top of the stairs. Something's wrong with Mr. Auden. I rush to the door and pound on it frantically. Mr. Auden! Mr. Auden! Gursky grabs me by the shoulder and pulls me away from the door. Let me in. There's something wrong.
Whoa, kid, calm down.
I feel like I'm about to throw up, but I doubt Detective Gursky would appreciate that. He's not okay. Gursky stares at me for a moment. He looks torn. I can tell he's not exactly ready to trust me yet, but I think he's also feels like something is wrong. Finally, he turns to Sophia.
Mr. Rotten has been unusually quiet for a while. Are you sure everything is okay? Is there any way we can force ourselves in?
Sophia doesn't look pleased about his
It's
request.
certainly unorthodox. I don't think Mr. Alton would be pleased.
I think he'd be even less pleased if he needed medical attention and we didn't get it to him.
Sophia sighs and nods.
Very well. The only way to open the office without express permission is to reset the security system.
And how exactly does one do that?
Someone needs to reboot the system manually. Then someone else has to enter the restart code within 10 seconds of the system being rebooted.
Sounds complicated.
It's meant to provide maximum security for Mr. Alton. I'm the only one here who knows the code, so someone else will have to go to the basement to reset the power.
If you meet down the staircase, I think that door is locked to visitors.
It is, but I can open it from here. Once you head down there, everything will be fine.
Detective Gursky glances over my shoulder.
Alright, Naoki, go reset it.
What? Why me?
Somehow I get the feeling Naoki says that a lot. He doesn't look too thrilled to have to head back down there. Why don't I go down there instead?
You?
Yeah, why not? I know how to flip a few switches.
Yeah, he could do it.
Detective Gursky scrudge.
Sure, why not?
Alright, the reboot process is fairly simple. Just flip all the switches off, then on. Then push the reset button.
Okay. I head down the stairs and back down the staircase. The door opens for me without any resistance. The basement is piled up high with wooden crates and dusty boxes. I wonder what Mr. Auden keeps in here. Oh, I must stop this part right here and then do the next part.